Afternoon peeps, good afternoon everyone. How we all doing? Hopefully you guys are all doing well. Don't forget, hit that subscribe button. If you guys are new to the channel, don't forget as well to like and share the vids. We've literally just got through the front door. No joke, just got through the door. And I was like, we need to get to the green chair straight away. So much to talk about. We're going to do a separate video for Devin Haney-Lomachenko. I think that deserves and needs a separate video. I'm not happy about that at all. But first and foremost, what a great night for boxing. What a great night for boxing. Boxing was trending last night. It was trending in the early hours of this morning. We had two undisputed fights, two arenas packed to the rafters, sold out, knockout of the year contender. We had a massive upset with Gary Cully, Felix. We'll talk about that in a minute as well. And you know what? Boxing's a winner. Boxing's a winner. I know I tweeted that and someone was like, what? It's not a winner, Ade, because Loma won and he got robbed. It wasn't a robbery, but we'll talk about that. Maybe later on today, I might do another video, but more likely we'll do that video tomorrow morning. Let's talk about my time in Dublin, my 2 days over there. Fantastic city, fantastic people. Everything people told me about the noise the Irish fans would make in that free arena was true. But one thing I want to applaud them for massively, and this is because they've been starved of big time boxing. The doors open at 5:30. There was already a queue. There's already a queue. I got there around 5:15. I could see the queue. So the doors opened at 5, apologies. I think the first fight was at 5:30. But at 7, it was, and that's when the main card starts. At 7, I would say it was about 70% full. That doesn't happen in boxing. It doesn't. Whether it be a Canelo fight, I was at the Garcia Tank fight, didn't happen. AJ fight, it just doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. People just don't turn up until the co-main event. After the first fight, and that was the heavyweight fight, it was full. It was full. And I was like, this is what we want to see. It's what we want to see. I love that. So they made the noise that everyone said they were going to make and more. Honestly, it was deafening in there. And I hope that came through. If you guys are watching at home, I saw a lot of you there. I met a lot of you that were in the arena. It was great to meet you guys as well. But look, let's kind of unpack this properly. Let's start with Conor McGregor. I got to see Conor McGregor. I didn't interview him, but I got to see Conor McGregor. He is an interesting character. Let's just say that. Interesting character. But he welcomed us all to his Black Forge pub. He was very nice. All the food and the drinks were on the house, everything. Really great guy. Gave a lot of time for photos with people, and I think a few sort of YouTube guys got their interviews as well. So great guy, great energy. And look, I know some people have said some things about him online, but I will say the positives. He backed this event. Like he put his money where his mouth is. He sponsored the event. He was there front and center for Katie, not just for Katie, but for all the Irish fighters as well. So whatever you say about him, he supports his people. He supports his people, and you've got to respect it. Let's talk. Where should we start? Let's start with Gary Cully, because that's the one that shocked me. It really did. Look, I think Gary Cully will come again, but that surprised me. And you know what? Yeah, after the first round, I remember sort of just telling Barack, literally just after the first round, Barack was there. Akim Barack, he was there ringside, and I was like, he walks back with his chin in the air. He's going to get caught. Bang, got caught. And I was like, Jesus Christ, man. Honestly, when he got caught, it's funny because he got caught and I was like, oh, he's done. He's done. He's not going to get up. He's done. He got up. But then I thought, okay, Felix, we know is a decent finisher. You look at the knockout record, and yes, it might not be elite people, but punch power's punch power. I thought he's going to finish him. The noise that arena made, almost to give him this new lease of life. They tried. They honestly tried their best. It was, in football, you would say it's the 12th man. They tried their best. And he seemed to recover, and then bang, caught again. And the referee was awful. That fight should have been stopped 4 or 5 big right hands before it was stopped. The towel came in. He couldn't see it. But regardless, the ref should have stopped that fight. Gary Cully took unnecessary punishment from a guy that can hit. And I just hope that he recovers from that. I was trying to look for him in his change room after, because I'm a massive fan. Honestly, I'm a massive fan of his. But I thought, let me just leave him be. But it was good to see that he was okay. He went into Felix's change room after, and they kind of embraced him and moved on. Conor Benn was there. And I saw the commotion So I was doing a little piece at the top of the show with Andy Lee, and I could see something, and someone said Conor. So I assumed it was commotion because Conor McGregor had arrived. So I was like, all the stars are here. And as I'm turning around to say, it's Conor Benn, I'm like, oh my God, Conor Benn and Kell Brook are fighting ringside. Look, they're going to fight. There's that there starts to sell for a fight between those two. Conor Benn looks like there is no opponent as yet for his return to the ring, whether it be whether he serves the ban and it's October, November, or whether he wants to fight in the summer. There is no opponent being named. Nothing really. It's not going to be Manny Pacquiao. Kell Brook, remember that photo he took with Eddie Hearn about a month ago? Handshake. Maybe there is something there being lined up. What I will say about Kell, I've seen Kell at events over the years, and I've always felt that he puts on a lot of weight. He already looked a bit leaner in the face. I don't know if you guys seen it. So he's almost like he's in camp for something, like the start of camp for something. That's just my own take on it. All right, let's talk Katie Taylor versus Chantelle Cameron. I want to start backwards and talk about my post-fight interview, but we'll do that at the end. Let's just talk about the fight first. By the way, the entrance from Katie was goosebumps. Honestly, it was goosebumps. The noise in that building, it still won't crack. It will crack my top 3, I think, but it won't beat Josh Warren and Marissa O'Lara. That's still number 1, because that was almost, I don't want to call those Leeds fans football hooligans. I just did, didn't I? I just did, apologies. But they were just Leeds crazy football fans type noise. It's different. It's different. So yeah, that's still number 1. But Katie's definitely cracked the top 3. The noise in that place, even just when I did an interview of her and a picture came on the big screen, just seeing her face, they went crazy. But anyway, skip all that. Let's talk about the fight. I knew from the first 30 seconds Chantelle Cameron was going to win. And yeah, I'm not just playing sort of, here, like, in hindsight, right? What did the Americans call it? What do they call it? Do they call it like Monday night quarterback or something? I think Ariel Hawani was using that term. But I'm not just being in hindsight. Like, I knew, because my thing was always, if Chantelle starts fast and forces Katie to fight, then Katie ain't going to be able to do that for 10 rounds. She ain't going to be able to do it for 2. Against Amanda Serrano, Katie was able to box up until, like, I think rounds 3 or 4. Then she started to fight. And that's when Amanda banked rounds, and then Katie kind of came on strong towards the end. That's why it was so close. I knew if Chantelle starts like that and is able to keep up that pace, which is another thing, then Katie can't hang with that. She can't hang with it. And I was very surprised by how fast Chantelle's hands were. I was surprised. Her feet weren't that fast, but nor Katie's at this stage of her career. But hands were fast. And she hurt Katie. She hurt Katie numerous times. Hurt her to the body. Katie's legs sunk a little bit. Hurt her up top. And look, Katie landed her own combination. But every time Katie fired back, and it was difficult not to think Katie had won the round because the crowd were making so much noise. But every time Katie fired back, Chantelle would fire back. And Chantelle would fire back with 3s and 4s and 5s, whereas Katie was 1, 2, 3. Chantelle was like, oh, no, I can't let you win this round because you're at home. I've got to fire back with more. And Nigel Travis and Jamie Moore clearly sort of got that into her head. Like, you have to win every single round clear. You have to. And she did. She pretty much did, didn't she? Ringside, people were 6'4". I think a couple were 5'5", but they were massive Katie Taylor fans. Some had it like 8'2". Someone had it 9'1". No joke, 9-1. Like, they thought it was clear. They thought even the rounds that Katie Taylor had, which were good rounds, Chantelle kind of bossed those rounds. Like, Katie Taylor had better rounds, but the round wasn't better than Chantelle Cameron, if that makes any sense. So people had it quite comfortable for Chantelle. Chantelle was just too big, too strong, and also just too good. Too good. I thought her punch combinations were better. I thought a variation. I thought when she got Katie Taylor on the ropes, she didn't let her off. She really bullied her on the ropes. She was forcing Katie Taylor to fight fire with fire, which isn't great because Katie Taylor's not a puncher. And I thought, oh, be careful, Katie. You're going to get stopped here. You're going to get knocked out. And credit to Katie, she was able to take those punches on the chin and, and find something. Like I gave Katie maybe 3 rounds. I felt she found something. But Chantelle just had that will to win. And look, let's not forget, Chantelle is the champion here. I know Katie Taylor's the all-time great, but Chantelle's the champion. She is the younger. She is the fresher. She's not had to go to the well like Katie's had to do over her career. And she just had way more in the tank. She kept that pace up from round 1 to 10. I thought she was going to slow down. Honestly, I think she got a second win 8-9, but I thought she's definitely going to slow down, and she just didn't. She just didn't. That they came with their game plan and it worked. Forced Katie onto the back foot early. Like literally, first 30 seconds, Katie's on the back foot, on the ropes. And I was like, wow, that's it then. That's it. And I remember, who was next to me? Ariel Helwani was next to me. And we're like, geez, this is it then. Because if this is how it starts, normally you would expect a fighter of Chantelle Cameron's inexperience fighting, and she's undisputed, but never fought at this level. So inexperience at this level, maybe she might come out again fighting in this magnificent arena. She might come out a bit tentative, a bit okay. We're just gonna see how the first round plays out. A feel around, they call them. No, she was like, no, fuck that. We're not doing that. We're not doing that at all. I know in my post-fight interview, I said I thought Katie Taylor banked the last 3 rounds. I've watched the fight back, and of those 3, I one to Katie, one to Chantelle, one maybe even. So I got that wrong, and hands up watching it back. It's I don't want to give myself an excuse, but when every time Katie's landing, the place is exploding, and you're like, oh, well, maybe Katie won that, and you're getting carried away as well. And I got that wrong. I didn't like, someone tweeted, Craig Scott tweeted, and I know of Craig, don't know him personally, but it's like, you're a presenter, just present or something. I was like, what? I can't have an opinion. And I was very disappointed with that tweet. I want to say more, but I'm not going to. But don't like things like that. Stupid tweet. Like, you can't have an opinion in the ring. What? I was like, whatever, dude. But yeah, disappointed in that. But look, credit to Chantelle Cameron. There was a lot of talk about what this means for Katie if Katie wins. Double undisputed. Obviously, Clarissa's double undisputed as well. What does it mean? Does it mean she's level with Clarissa, or does it mean she's above her? There now needs to be talk of what this means for Chantelle. This is a massive win. It really is. And, I don't have my top 5 in my head, but off sort of just thinking about it, Clarissa's now clear number 1, obviously. I remember Katie still is undisputed at 135, so I don't know if you can drop Katie down from number 2. I mean, the resume's fantastic, so you probably still have Katie number 2. I still think you got Amanda 3, and then I'm gonna go. I think with that win, she jumps Baumgardner. I think that win, just the size of it, away from home, in a hostile territory, that win is bigger than Baumgardner's win against Michaela Meyer. So I think that will be my top 5. Baumgardner, number 5. That's a fantastic top 5, isn't it? Really good, really deep. Eddie did say after there is a rematch clause. You guys heard it. Katie's like, yeah, she wants it. Autumn. Chantelle wasn't really keen. She wants to go for other belts as well. I think she's keen to jump up to 147 and maybe take the rest of Jessica McCaskill's belts. There's other fights out there for her, but look, once she sees the check, and I said this post-fight, once she sees the check for Jessica McCaskill, potentially, or Sandy Ryan, but once she sees that check, and she sees the check for Katie Taylor rematches, and she's already beaten her, then do it again. Do it again. The only thing is, if Eddie and Katie try and drain Chantelle to 135, that's the only thing. But if I'm Chantelle, I beat you once, I'll beat you again. And this time I might make it more comfortable because I know I can beat you now. The nerves that were there doing the ring walk won't be there, or they'll be there, but not the same. For Katie, look, there are so many options for Katie. Alicia Baumgardner wants to jump up from 130. There's obviously the Amanda Serrano rematch. Is it still what it was? I think it is. Amanda's lost. It's not like it's not like it was a draw. Katie beat Amanda, so, you know, they can go again. Michaela Meyer obviously wants to fight as well. Chantelle now. I think a reasonable sort of fifth or fourth option, I don't know how many fights I just mentioned there, should be retirement. That should be an option. It should have been an option after the Amanda Serrano fight. That would have been the perfect way to go out. But I get it, the want to fight in Ireland, Croke Park, Free Arena, whatever. I understand why you'd continue. But that would have been perfect. Amanda Serrano, you put the gloves down, epic. You don't get better than that. You don't get bigger than that. But fighters don't rarely go out on wins. But it should be an option. She's clearly slipping. I've watched probably all her fights. So I remember when she turned pro in 2016. It's not the same fighter. It's not the same fighter. She's taken a lot of damage. And now the game plan's out there to beat her. We saw Amanda do it. We saw Delphine Persoon, maybe first time round, do it. And now we've seen Chantelle Cameron do it. So there's a game plan. You rush her and force her to fight. She doesn't have the punch power to really hurt you. And I don't think she's got the legs to be able to dance around you like she used to for 10 rounds. It's out there now. So there'll be people out there now, you know, lesser fighters that I think will beat her. I really do. I think the lesser fighters out there that will beat her. And I don't really want to see that. Because I think they wouldn't have been able to have beaten her 5-6 years ago. And now she's there for the taking. So I think they really should consider that retirement option. But if not, then Chantelle, 140-135, Serrano, Michaela Meyer, Baumgardner. So a lot of options. It's a lot of options. Anything else on that card that I really want to talk about? Very disappointing that we didn't get to see Terry Harper versus Cecilia Brakas. Cecilia obviously not feeling well, so she woke up with a fever. Terry Harper, I believe, will fight next week on the Lara Wood card, so not too long for her to wait. But yeah, in rapping, incredible atmosphere, everything I expected. So good to see big time boxing back in Ireland. Let's hope we can have more events there. Eddie's going to be gutted. You know, it's funny, people get so like, Matchroom's done. Look, they lost Gary Cully and Katie Taylor. Eddie must be livid backstage. I'm with Eddie backstage having a beer. Eddie's fine. I think people, Eddie's okay with it. Trust me, Eddie's okay. I mean, look, he understands there isn't much left in terms of fights for Katie anyway at 36. And Gary Cully, he wasn't sure about Gary Cully. Obviously, look, you're trying to push someone, but this is the nature of the sport. Someone's going to lose. You're going to have upsets. And what do we want? Would we prefer him match Gary Cully with, what do they used to call those, Polish binmen? I find that phrase horrible, but you know what I mean. Would you prefer that? Or would you prefer tough fights coming through? I'd prefer some tough fights coming through. And these tough fights are 50-50. I saw Felix against Sandor Martin, and look, Sandor's world level. And that was at 140, and I thought he looked really strong at 140. 135, I knew there was going to be a bit of problem, or 130, was it 136, 137? But Gary Cully will come again. But look, yeah, overall, enjoyed it. Really good night of boxing. We are going to definitely right now, we're going to stop and we're going to talk Loma Devon Haney. Peace.